Thank you.
I'm saying Philippe Garat. Philippe, are you going to replace Bernard, or are you going to say later closure where we are? Philippe Garat.
Bernard is here, and he will proceed in a few seconds if it's okay.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, Bernard.
Hello, can you hear me?
Did you finish your emergency case successfully?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I just finished.
Okay.
So
Bernard is going to speak about the mitral clip in function, organic mitral regurgitation.
Exactly.
Okay.
So can you see my slide?
Not yet.
Not yet. I have to share my screen. Is it possible to share my screen? You need to give me the right to share the screen. Hello?
Hello. We didn't see the screen.
Yes, but I have no right to share my screen. So it's you have to ask your technical team to give me the right to share.
Yeah. I give you the technical.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Okay, yes, now your screen is ready.
Okay, good. Okay. So we are discussing now about mitral clip in degenerative and functional mitral regurgitation. You know that the concept of mitral clip was initially a surgical concept done by Professor Alfieri, who decided to treat regurgitation by doing a stitch between A2 and P2 in order to reduce the regurgitation. And you can see here the initial drawing from the designer the inventor of mitral clip, which tried to mimic this Alfieri technique, surgical technique, using two clips. So this is the device we have now so far, which is a third generation of mitral clip. We have two sizes, the small one, which is called NTR, and the large one, which is called XTR. You can see the difference. This one is 3 millimeters longer, and particularly the two arms of the clip are longer in the XTR compared to the NTR. And when you open the two arms, you can see that you have a larger size to grasp the leaflets. What is important in mitral clip, of course, is the echo guidance. Everything is done under echo. Fluoro is usually important as well, of course, but not so crucial than echo, and we don't need any contrast. So we have two views, as you can see. You have the orientation. We have what we call the commissural view, which is on the right upper panel, as you can see, which is crossing posterior valve at P3 on P third on P first on A2. You can see the P3 on P1 on A2. And you can see the orientation. The left atrial appendage is here. And we have a second view, because we use these two views during the procedure, what we call the X-plan, which are crossing between P2 and A2. And in fact, we combine these two views to navigate up to the mitral valve. And we use also 3D reconstruction, which is very important for aligning, making a good alignment of the two arms of the clip, particularly to be sure that we are really perpendicular to the area we want to grasp. You can see the orientation. The aorta is here. We have a lateral view on the medial, and we have A1, P1, P2, P3. So degenerative is one of the indications. We are now treating this kind of patient where they are rejected for denied for surgical repair. And the classical criteria to treat this kind of degenerative MR are the good coarctation length, at least 2 millimeters, coarctation depth, which is less than 11 millimeters, flail gap less than 10 millimeters, and flail width less than 15 millimeters. This is the classical criteria, the most suitable case for repair. That's what we call here the simple approach in mitral clip, meaning that these patients have mainly pathology in P2 or A2 segment, no calcification, a good valvular area, a leaflet which is long enough at the level of P, and the coarctation depth less than 15 millimeters. So we can now treat patients who are a little bit more complex, particularly when we have disease at segment 1 or segment 3, with slight classification outside this area, and with area which is less than 4 square centimeters, but more than 3 square centimeters. And the other type of patient are theoretically difficult or contraindication, perforation if you have severe calcification, or if you have mitral stenosis, and if you have Barlow disease. Just an example of degenerative MR, it's a 78-year-old lady who had 2 episodes of chest radiation for breast cancer on prior endocarditis on mitral valve without residual vegetation. She had a recent TAVI for severe aortic stenosis with a MR, which is grade 2, due to a Barlow disease. TAVI was uneventful, but 2 days after TAVI, she had pulmonary edema with A2 prolapsus, and it was refractory to medical treatments. We decided, despite it was a relatively complex form with Barlow disease, to go to mitral clip as the patient was denied, rejected for surgery. You can see the disease, which is, as you can see, very typical for Barlow. Very thick leaflets. You can see the prolapsus in A2. In this position, the aorta is at the bottom, so it's not the usual orientation. And you can see the regurgitation, which is a central one, because it's A2 disease and very severe. The LVOT view, we are not, when LVOT, we are not far from the origin of the jet, because it's A2. You can see that the evolute valve was okay in the aortic position. And we go with the clip, as you can see, which is navigating in the left atrium. We are presenting this clip just above the leaflet. The two arms are open at 60 degrees. We check, and once we are okay with this position, we go through the valve, and we are checking the perpendicularity of this device, and we are well located. You can see the aorta is here, and we are well located, but really central to compare to the A2 disease. So we are now in a position to grasp. You can see that we have the two leaflets which are just above the two arms of the clips. And now we have grasp, and we are not closed totally. We just grasp, and before we close, fully close, we are checking the position. We are checking the quality of the grasping to be sure we have enough tissue inside the clip. You can see now the clip is closed, not yet released, but closed. And we have significantly reduced the valve, the regurgitation, and we are now ready to release the clip and check the final result. In these two views, we have a small residual regurgitation, but it's okay considering this patient was contraindicated for any surgery. This is an example of degenerative MR. We have also a functional indication. And another case, a patient with 60 years old, anterior MI almost 20 years ago. He had also EF ablation. He had a multiple hospitalization for heart failure due to very severe MR and very severe dysfunction. You can see EF is 28 with severe pulmonary hypertension. You can see the disease, which is clearly an LV disease with annulus enlargement and severe regurgitation. In the previous case, we use XTR because we have a lot of tissue and we need to long arms to grasp the leaflet. In this case, we are going to NTR, but as usually, it's usually in this kind of case, we need to place several clips because we have a lot of enlargement. And the first clip is always more difficult to grasp because of the annulus enlargement, but once the first clip is in place, it's relatively easy to put a second and sometimes a third. In this case, we need to place 3 clips to reduce the regurgitation. And you can see the final result, which is much better than previously. We have grade 1 residual regurgitation. And this is the final result. You can see with the 3D reconstruction, final gradient was less than 2, which is okay. We can accept to have up to 4 millimeters of mercury of final gradient, but no more than that. So it's very important, particularly when you do multiple clips. So what are the results in this kind of functional MR? We have 2 trials, MITRA-FR and COAPT, with a slightly different result. As you can see, MITRA-FR was neutral, no benefit on top of medical treatment. And COAPT was extremely positive, as you can see. And it was, of course, a matter of debate. They are not exactly the same patient. Patients in COAPT have more severe regurgitation in less disease left ventricle, so because they are equal in terms of ejection fraction, but they are less dilated in COAPT versus MITRA-FR. And when we look at the 3 years result of COAPT, you can see we are extremely efficient, and the curve continues to diverge after 2 years, up to 3 years. And the mortality was also significantly improved, with an NNT of 8, which is extremely good for Mitraclip versus medical treatment. In MITRA-FR, we have a different result, but as you can see, in terms of mortality at 2 years, the curves are still superimposed, but in terms of rehospitalization, we have a trend to have better outcome for Mitraclip versus medical treatment alone. So very important point, how to interpret this result. Dr. Graben proposed to introduce this concept of proportionate and disproportionate functional MR, meaning that if you have an MR which is more important that you can expect regarding the dilatation of the LLV, you can really benefit of regurgitation treatment, which is the case in most of the coapted patients. On the opposite, in MITRA-FR, most of the patients have a proportionate MR who are less responsive to this interventional treatment. Clearly, the overlap between these two trials is not so large. It's really different type of patient. And clearly, we need to select for Mitraclip in functional MR more coapted patient than MITRA-FR patient. Just one slide to discuss about the future of clip. So we have now the third generation with a clip which are 4 mm large. We have now a second type of clip which is arriving with a larger clips, as you can see, which is 6 mm. So meaning that combining these two widths on these two lengths, we have 4 types of clips. And one point which is also very important in this fourth generation is the capacity to clip separately the 2 arms, which makes easier the grasping process, particularly when the annulus is very large. So to conclude, Mitraclip is usable and doable in more complex lesions when you deal with primary degenerative mitral regurgitation. With a new generation, we are quicker and we are more efficient, and we can really treat now high surgical risk. On the opposite, in secondary MR, functional MR, we are clearly effective even on mortality, as you can see, if you are treating coapted patient, meaning that's a patient with a disproportionate regurgitation. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Question here?
Yes, thank you, Bernard, for an excellent presentation. How to define disproportionate mitral regurgitation? Because it's a clue for success in such cases.
I think it's clearly a ratio between the regurgitation, the orifice of the regurgitation, the size of the orifice calculated by echocardiography, and the size of the LV in diastole.
In one of your slides, you're seeing that in degenerated mitral valve, see that you have maybe mitral stenosis patients with mitral regurgitation. Am I right? One of your slides for that.
Yes, we can, not stenosis, but we can now treat patients with area which is between 3 and 4 square centimeters, which was not the case initially with initial devices. But 3 square centimeters is the minimum we can deal with.
Do you see there is any difference between Pascal and the MitraClip regarding the etiology and the results?
I think it's probably too early. We don't have any head-to-head comparison between Pascal and MitraClip, and MitraClip now is moving to its fourth generation. Fourth generation of MitraClip and Pascal are very close. They have, both of them have the capability to grasp separately the 2 arms, which is very important for the ease of grasping. Regarding the long-term result, it's too early to, we don't have any long-term result with Pascal, so it's too early to make comparisons.
What if the mean gradient after clipping was unacceptable, more than 4?
Yes, we can, more than 4 is clearly an issue. In some borderline cases, we can tolerate up to 5, but clearly this is the maximum. If you have more than 4 and certainly more than 5 after grasping, you should remove the clip.
Thank you very much, Bernard, for this nice presentation. It was a surprise between the result of the French and the American or COPT study. Do you think it's only the volume, the difference in the volume and of the left ventricle, or the degree of regurgitation between the French and the American study?
I think it's both. The US trial has more important regurgitation in less dilated LV. So it's a combination of both.
So this is the clue in the choice of the mitral clip. We have to have less left ventricular volume and more mitral regurg.
Yes, it's a concept of disproportionate MR.
Thank you.
Any comment from Philippe Garat? Philippe, do you have any comment about the mitral clip? You hear me?
Yes,
Philippe,
I hear you.
Yeah. Any comments? Can you add anything to this?
Yeah, sure. My opinion is that this technique is really outstanding and changed the prognosis of many patients denied for surgery with cardiac failure and MR, high-grade MR. I'm not doing personally this technique because Bernard and Thierry are doing in our center, so they are the experts. But I can see that our patients benefit from this technique. And really, we had data from very high risk, not operable, not surgical patients. And now we have more and more data for high risk patients. And my opinion is that possibly, but it's my question for Bernard, of course. What do you think, Bernard? Do you think we will propose this technique to, as we do for TAVI, to intermediate risk and maybe one day for low risk patients?
I think it's probably too early to go in this direction. We are now collecting data in high-risk patients, which are good so far, and we have several registries. We have also a clinical trial ongoing in France, which is called MITRA-HR. And clearly we need more data to go to intermediate risk, and I think probably the availability of the new generation will also change this paradigm progressively.
Thank you very much, Bernard. Thank you very much.